What's up, guys? So I watched the UFC fight night last night. It was Mackenzie Dern versus, I forgot, Amanda Ribas or something is her name. Great fights. The whole card was good from top to bottom. Very good up-and-coming prospects I saw on the card. But I want to go into more about Mackenzie Dern and her ground game. I mean, she's definitely someone you should study as a jiu-jitsu person, or just learning jiu-jitsu for MMA. She's someone you should study because first of all, her technique is world-class in every area on the ground, especially jiu-jitsu. But even her wrestling is good. Even her setups to her wrestling was good. She was using decent hand combinations to get into the legs to grab the takedowns and stuff as well. And she fought a very tough girl. She fought Amanda Ribas, who's a black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu both, and has been training half her life as well. So you're starting to see a lot of girls now that have been training their whole life. And you're starting to see, I saw a couple other girls earlier on in the card that were like this as well, that they're athletic. You're starting to see the better athletes come to MMA in the girls division, and the better athletes and the better technicians that have been training their whole life. It's like MMA for women is slowly catching up to men from the perspective of you're starting to see women that have been training their whole life. Like with Ronda Rousey, a lot of people basically consider Ronda Rousey the Royce Gracie of women's MMA because she would come in and she was the only one that knew anything for the first half of her career, basically, right? And not anything, but like it was Ronda Rousey training her whole life and some of these other girls training 3 or 4 years. So it was a big difference in technique and reps and the amount of stuff she's been able to do, even from training to get to that technical to be able to pull this stuff off in a fight. Well, you're starting to see a lot of girls like that now, so it's very refreshing to see that. And Mackenzie Dern is someone, she should definitely be studied for jiu-jitsu person trying to do MMA. Her jiu-jitsu is good. You can tell her coach, her dad, is like phenomenal because her jiu-jitsu is not a bunch of cool special techniques that most people can't do. Like, she's not trying flying arm bars. She's not trying flying triangles. And I'm sure she has all of that in her arsenal. And she may have even tried a couple of those moves in previous fights. But the level of opponent she was fighting was really good as well. So when you get to this point, it's basics that win, and everything's perfect. When she's on bottom, she does a really good job of controlling the wrists and controlling the hands, pulling the head down, controlling the posture, making sure that the girl couldn't really land any punches on top at all. So very little damage done as far as being on top in the ground and pound. And she was able to, it took her a couple minutes in 2 of the rounds, I think, but she was able to get sweeps. When she did get taken down, she was able to get sweeps. And then when she got on top, she had really good top pressure, and she didn't really force anything. Even the finish she got, everything was perfect. The technique was perfect. She shot the arm in. She switched arms. Everything, every detail of that arm bar was perfect. Basic stuff is what wins fights, and she's showing a good example of what basic jiu-jitsu does if it's drilled thousands of times, and she's did thousands of rounds of live rolling in competitions as well, obviously. But guarantee you, she's drilled these moves, she's hit these moves in practice. She's probably hit these moves in practice more times than most people have drilled them. That's how many rounds she's probably did, and how good she is at these specific moves. But it's not dynamic jiu-jitsu where she's doing an Eminari roll into a inverted heel hook or some low percentage stuff. It's very high percentage moves. It's an arm bar with every detail perfect, and it makes it high percentage. And she's doing that with multiple submissions throughout her career, rear naked chokes and other submissions she's got, and everything is just detail oriented, perfect technique, and very good jiu-jitsu, and the way jiu-jitsu should be for MMA. So congrats to Mackenzie Dern. Phenomenal performance, phenomenal fights, and congrats on your win. If you guys are new to martial arts and you're looking for a gym in your area, get my book, The Ultimate Guide to Choosing Your Martial Arts School and Instructor. Link is in the description below. And if you got any other comments or any subjects or fights you want me to break down or anything, let me know. Leave a comment below. Thank you, guys.